You're listening to the Master Passive Income Podcast Network. Welcome to the Master Passive Income Show. I'm Dustin Heiner, and I'm here to help you get financial independence, create wealth, and afford anything you want in life by investing in real estate. And in today's show, we're going to be talking all about the successful investor roadmap. This is the path you need to be taking if you're going to be successful in real estate. And I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. All right, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast, where we talk about investing in real estate with a special focus on making enough money so you can quit your job and live the dream life. And now, here is your host, Dustin Heiner.
What's up? What's up? Super blessed as always to have you here with me on the show. Now, I got to tell you something. So, I am so pumped up about commercial real estate. And honestly, in fact, I'm so excited about all types of real estate investing. I know a lot of people, they might be saying, or you might be hearing people talk about, interest rates are so high. How are you going to buy any real estate? And I'll be completely honest and say, it's about time. I've been looking for interest rates to go up because that is the indication that the market's going to change, and it's going to be changing in our favor. If you're a real estate investor, you're going to be in the best position to buy real estate, to grow wealth. In fact, the last couple of years have been really good. Don't get me wrong. Really good for real estate investors because it's been a booming market. It's been booming for, since 2021. It probably started booming up right around then. Well, in the end, the next 5 years are going to be so much better than the past 4 years. I believe commercial real estate is going to be so fantastic, and residential real estate is also fantastic as well. And all real estate is amazing, and that's the reason why I created the Investor Roadmap. This is something that I'm literally on myself. Now, as I'm talking through this Investor Roadmap, you're going to get to understand the different phases of where you potentially are already on this roadmap. Now, I, with Master Passive Income, have been on my journey, and I've been showing you how to do it as well. Follow along with me. I'll be the guinea pig, basically, and I'll get to where I am, and I'll give you all the mistakes that I've done, all the successes, so you can skip over the landmines that I fell in and lost tens and twenties of thousands of dollars, so that you can actually start growing. And from wherever you are, let's say you're in the middle of the roadmap, or you are on this journey, and we're going to show you how to make sure you keep moving forward. And then if you skip to something in the journey that you need to get done, then we're going to help you to get back there, fix that, and then get back on the journey. Now, there's something I want to share with you. It's definitely, I don't like losing. In fact, I hate losing and I hate failing. Now, when you fail, you could either fail once, where let's say you lose money and you failed at something. You can fail twice if you do not learn from that mistake. So first failure is really good for growth. They say that necessity is the mother of invention. Well, if you have a need to grow, then you're going to grow. You're going to invent new things. And if you don't even try, then you don't even get started. You don't even have the ability to grow or to succeed. Now, everything I've done in Master Passive Income and Rubicon, as well as my own personal investing, is literally showing you what I've done so that you can follow along the path. But at the same time, whenever I fail, I share with you my failures, and I try my best not to fail twice where I don't learn the lesson. Now, here's the thing, and I'll definitely get into the roadmap, walking you through the roadmap, but this is a part of the roadmap. The reason why I'm sharing this to you. So, you've been hearing me last, 2 or 3 months talking about the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference Multifamily Edition. This is the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference, commercial real estate investing. You've heard me talk about that for the last few months, and basically started a conference, signed on the dotted line for a hotel to give them almost $100,000 if I don't put on this event, and started selling tickets. Got all these speakers, got sponsors. Well, there's a couple things. Well, I'll jump right to the end. I sadly had to cancel the event. I sadly had to cancel the multifamily real estate investor event because of the roadmap. That's really what it boiled down to. The roadmap is what caused me to cancel the event. But the bigger thing, we only sold 15 tickets. I mean, it's completely straightforward. I mean, it's definitely a failure. I like the idea that I don't know how to fail. Well, in the end, I don't fail twice, is what I would say. I definitely learned a huge lesson. It's not don't sign the contract or anything like that, but it's the big lesson that created this roadmap. Now, the event in November is no longer happening. We are still having the regular RubeCon, the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference that we have every year in the spring. We're absolutely having that. We're just crushing it. Sales are, everybody's coming. Like, you need to be there at that. So RubeCon 2025 in April in St. Louis, you need to be there. But I'm talking about the multifamily event that I had planned for Denver in November. Now, the reason why I canceled this one is we sold 15 tickets and we had 2 more months left. And I was like, we're not even hitting anywhere near our benchmarks. And I'll be completely honest, I actually had sponsors wanting to sponsor because they know the events that I put on in the past, and I could make money instead of lose money, but then I would not have put on a good event. And as well as my integrity, I hold that as high as I probably could. You know, I try to hold it as high as I can. And if I were to make money on an event from sponsors and they did not get the value that they wanted or that they were paying for as sponsors, well, then they're going to be out of luck and they're going to look at me as, man, Dustin did not provide what he thought or what he sold us, so we're not going to sponsor future events. So I figured, my goodness, if I put on this event, number one, there's a very low demand right now for commercial real estate, which is what's getting me excited, which I'll get into in just a second. But there's very low demand. In fact, we only sold 15 tickets. Lots of sponsors, but I said, if we're only going to get maybe 50 people there, that's not at all enough. I was planning to 200 to 300. If I get 200 or 300, then sponsors are going to be happy. But with only getting 15 tickets sold, we had 2 months left, and it's just we're not hitting any of our benchmarks. It was time to cancel. So I'm out of pocket at least 50 grand, as much as 90 grand is how much I'm out of pocket to close this conference, because I'm literally paying the hotel for the hotel rooms that I did not sell. You know, when you sign with the hotel, you guarantee that you're going to fill up these rooms. So they hold it for you. Well, sadly, because I had to cancel, I'm going to have to pay that. But here is I guess I'm not failing twice. I'm only failing that one time, but not, getting this conference going. But here's the lesson. And here is the investor roadmap. Now, as an investor, if you're a real estate investor, you're going down the path to financial freedom. Think about Monopoly. Think about playing Monopoly. You start small, you have a job, you're making a little bit of money, and then you buy some land. Then you buy a house. Then you buy more houses, you buy more land, and you keep growing. And every time you buy something, you start collecting money. Well, in the end, if you win, it's because you have more land and you have more properties and you're collecting rent from the other players. That's what we do most people are not investors, so they don't think like an investor. Right now, multifamily properties are doing really, really bad. Think of Brandon Turner. I heard he just had to stopped all of his distributions. Basically, when somebody invests money, he gives money as a return on the money. Well, he has, 1,500 units that he has people invest with him. Well, he stopped distributions. I have Zach Zimmer, who is the host of the Passive Income Life podcast here on Master Passive Income Network. He's literally lost, and he's leads with it. He's literally says, "Hey, I've lost the money. Let me show you how not to lose the money." By the way, I did it. He's lost $1 million. $1 million. Now, he says he's very blessed to have the ability to lose the $1 million, but he's learning from it. On top of that, and there are so many other real estate investors right now that are losing money because of these multifamily syndicators. Syndicators are basically flippers. They flip a property that's apartment complex, very large, takes 3 years, 4 years, but that's their goal, is they flip. I know of some syndicators, they'll raise $6 million and $2 million of it goes to them. I'm not a syndicator. I am an investor. If you want to invest with me, that's when I just open up deals, and I don't do that. Where it's, how in the world can they raise $6 million and keep 2 for themselves? That's just nuts. It happens, though. You got to read the fine print on any investment that you're doing. Now, getting back to the investor roadmap, as well as the commercial real estate and the multifamily conference. The multifamily conference, I want to show you that when we play Monopoly, When we get into commercial real estate apartment complexes, that's when we win the game. That's when we win the game of life in Monopoly for real life. And I wanted to lead you in that. I wanted to be teaching you. Now, because people are not seeing what I'm seeing, and now because people are getting scared about, okay, this is a problem, that's a problem, where I see the opportunity. With the Brandon Turners of the world losing their properties, they're foreclosing. They're going to have a distressed sale. I'm going to buy it for 30, 40 cents on the dollar because these banks don't want to hold them. And I'll be able to buy them. And I want you to be ready for them. Just like if you're surfing, we paddle before the wave gets us. So we have momentum. So then we could then catch that wave in. Now, that's why I closed down the multifamily conference. People aren't ready for it yet. But I guarantee you, in 2 or 3 years, oh my goodness, everybody's going to be ready thinking, my goodness, there's so much money to be made in commercial. They'll have already passed that. Now, I will probably do a conference like that in the future, but right now we're focusing on RubeCon, the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference, because that's going to be teaching you, that does teach you the real estate investor roadmap. Now, here is the roadmap. So the commercial real estate, that is the end of the roadmap, but there's the beginning. There's 3 components to this roadmap. Okay, track with me here. Now, because it's a podcast, you're going to have to use your imagination as I walk you through this, but picture this roadmap as a way to summit a huge mountain. A huge mountain. Think of like Mount Kilimanjaro or Mount Shasta or something. Like you're hiking, or Mount Everest, a huge mountain, and every single step that you go gets you to the closer to the very end, which is the very top of the mountain. Well, on top of that, there is also sections where you hit a section that you might feel like it's the summit, but it's just another plateau until the next leg up where you're going to take off and go up higher up the mountain. Now, think of a mountain that has 3 sections. The first section is where the beginners are. They're just getting started on this huge path up this big mountain. The middle section is where the intermediate people are, where they've already got started. They're already down the path or up the path. They're walking up this mountain. And then they get to the next plateau where they feel like it's the success, but it's just the ending of the second part. And then getting you into the third part, the third section of this huge mountain that you're climbing. That is where you want to eventually end up. More than likely, if you're listening to this, you are either in the first or second section, maybe not in the third section. But my goal is to build you into the third section. My goal is to get you to where you're at the third section, you're almost at the summit where I am. And remember, like I said, everything I've been talking about, teaching and showing you in Master Passive Income, all the one-on-one coaching that we do, the group coaching, all of that is all about getting you down the path. Now, you are finally ready to hear the entire roadmap, because I've been talking about the beginner stage and the intermediate phase in the beginning for the longest time now since I started Master Passive Income. But now since I've grown into this next third phase, that's where I'm going to be teaching you. Now, let's walk through the entire roadmap. If you're going to be a successful real estate investor, you need to get to the very end. And I want to pause for a quick second and share that honestly, I really want you to invest in real estate. Now, my new goal is to help 1 million people invest in real estate. So 2 things I would ask from you. Number 1, if you get anything out of this episode, please share it with somebody else. Just say, hey, check out Dustin at Master Passive Income. He really wants to help 1 million people to invest in real estate. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to get you to invest in real estate. Get my real estate investing course absolutely for free. Text the word rental, RENTAL, to 33777. Rental to 33777. I'll literally give you my course, show you how to find an area of the country to invest, how to build the business first. I always talk about that, and how to find the right properties, how to make sure you're getting experts to do the work for you, and scale the business to where you're making $250 or more in passive income. Scale it to quit your job. I'll literally get it to you, or go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. Obviously, it'll be in the description, but I really, really want you to invest in real estate, because the more that actual, normal, everyday people own real estate that are good landlords, the better everybody's life gets. Now, these 3 sections for the roadmap, we start off with the beginner. That's the mom and pop. That's the people that have 0 properties and maybe 5 properties at the very most. And as you're thinking of starting your business, you have to plan everything out. Just like if you're going to hike Mount Kilimanjaro, which is something I'm going to be doing next year, which is a side note, be on the lookout. I'm going to be going to Africa. If you want to come with me on a real estate investor excursion, a safari and adventure, we have 2 more spots open, but be on the lookout for that. I'll put a link in the description if you already want to know, because you're like, man, I want to hang out with Dustin for 6-7 days. I think it's maybe 7 or 8 days in Africa, hiking Mount Kilimanjaro, seeing the safari. You can definitely check the link in the description. You can get that right now, or go check it out. And I think you could even sign up right then and there. But we have only 2 more spots left out of, I think, 17. So if you are going down the path to hike and summit a mountain, you have to plan everything out. That's the first stage. So in the beginner stage, there's 3 buckets. And the second stage, there's 3 buckets. And the third stage, there's 3. So there's 9 stages total. First one is planning. That's where you start out. You have no properties. Next one is, let's say you bought your first property. Then you basically started walking up. You started hiking the mountain. You started going up the mountain. You've proven to yourself that it works. And I kid you not, especially my one-on-one coaching students. If you're not doing the one-on-one coaching, you absolutely need to, because our students, they get their first property very, very fast. In fact, for years before, most of them, they've been trying to get their first property 2 or 3 years, and they never do. But they start with the one-on-one coaching. Their first property comes within 3 months. Like, kid you not. Now, it's not a guarantee. I'm never not guaranteeing it, but I'm sharing that most students, 3 to 4 months, they have their first property. And I kid you not, their second property comes so much faster. Maybe within a month, they'll have their second property because they built a business. It starts on the plan that here at Master Passive Income, that we give you the plan, we give you the proven path. Then you buy your first property. We walk you through that process as well. You get that first and second property. So you've proven to yourself it works. So the first one's plan. The second one is prove. You've proven to yourself that it works. Then the next step, before we get to now the middle section, we then need to replicate. Replicate what we do when we bought first 1 and 2 properties. Then we need to do it again. We need to get to 5 properties. So that's the beginner stage. Beginner stage of this huge summit, of this big mountain we're climbing. That's the beginner stage. We plan, and then we prove, and then we replicate. We try to get to 5 properties. Faster you get to 5 properties, the faster you get on the path up the mountain to summit. Okay, so that's the beginner. That's the mom and pop first section. Here is the second section. Second section is the business owner. They're the scalers. They're scaling their business now. They have problems too. Just like if you're starting at the beginning, you maybe don't have a plan. We have the outcome for you, or we have the opportunity, which is the plan. Maybe you haven't proven yourself. We have the way to prove it to you. We have the outcome. We also have the way for you to replicate. So here is the problem when you get to the scaling. Now, I've seen every single, and when I say every, I do absolutely mean that. Every single student gets to the spot where they get stuck. They get stuck because they got through the planning and the proving and the replicating. They get to 5 properties and then they get stuck. Now they're stuck for 2 different reasons that I've seen. Number one, if they come to me in this position, didn't learn from the beginning, they didn't plan, they didn't prove, they didn't replicate. They just bought a couple properties off of turnkey companies. It happens all the time. And they come to me and say, Dustin, I've got 6 properties, 7 properties now, but it's not working. I'm not making passive income. I'm struggling with these property managers. Like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. That's one frustration. They're stuck. Then the next frustration is, how do I accelerate? I've got 6 properties. It's going so great, but I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough deals coming through. I need to scale it faster. That's the second problem. So remember, at each one of these phases, there's a problem. There's always going to be an outcome. And we are going to help you get past that problem, because we've all done it. In fact, all these steps, I've been there. Zach Zimmer, who is the host of the Passive Income Life podcast, has been there. Charles Rose Jr., Charles Seaman, myself, we've all been through this process, and we're helping you get to the next step. So with the first one, let's say you're in a position like, Dustin, I have 6 or 7 properties right now. It's not as all what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, passive income, everything running automatically. Well, more than likely, it's been because You did not create a business to run itself, and you did not buy the right properties. That is what we started with in the plan. The plan, I show you how to build the business, buy the right properties, have experts show you how to do everything right. Most people that come to me here, they're saying they're stuck, they're frustrated. So what we have to do is go back to the beginning, build out that business, start that plan, teach them the plan, build the business, hire the experts, the right people to do the work for them, and then they now move forward. We get those 5 to 6 properties working properly. If we have to sell them, if they're bad properties, we sell them. If we can get them cash flowing, then we do. If we need to get new property managed, we do. So that's what we do on the one-on-one. So if you are in this phase, we love helping you out because honestly, you're not seeing the right way to do it. We literally give you the right way to do it. So that's the first frustration. The second frustration, and I get this a lot from students, they get to 6, 7 properties. And I literally had one of my students ask the question, "Hey, Dustin, do you ever get frustrated that you're not building it fast enough? Like you see the map, you're already on the hill or the mountain you're climbing, you see the top, and it's not going fast enough." That's a problem that we need to have an outcome that will teach you how to do that. And so in that middle section, the scaling, we start with getting you unstuck, then to accelerating. When we accelerate, we get more deals, we get more properties, we get you more ways to finance, we get more deals sent to you, we have more of everything, and we show you how to get that, the more. That's how we then accelerate. Then the third component of this middle section, this scaling business owner section, is stabilizing. We need to stabilize it so if you are trying to quit your job, we need to have stable money coming in. I hit this where I had fluctuations so high of money going in, money going out, and I was like, how am I going to quit my job? Every single month's different. What we need to do now is stabilize your income. On this roadmap, this is where you reach financial freedom. This is the freedom time where you stabilize everything and then you can quit your job. I remember hitting this. I was nervous because I did not know if I was stable or not. Now, because I've helped so many students now, I know what it looks like to be stable. So I'm going to help you with that. But so we have unstuck, we got to get you through. Then we got to get you to accelerate where we buy more properties and then we stabilize. Now here's one nuance inside this scaling business owners. So we start looking at bigger deals. We can obviously keep buying single family homes. We love those, 4 units and below. But now we want to get into the next section. This is where we get to the top of the mountain. This is like we're hiking Mount Everest. We get to the very top, climbing. This is the beginning of the last leg. And this is the investor section. This is the preservationist. This is one who preserves what they've built. You've worked hard as a mom and pop beginner, scaling as a business owner. Now we need to preserve that and get you into risk reduction where we get into other asset classes. We also do tax reduction. We lower our amount of taxes we pay because we are spreading out into different asset classes. We also get into the legacy where we have a way to pass this down to our kids, and that's the preservation stage. Now, if you think about a preservation stage, that's when we then have lots of properties and we're getting to bigger and bigger deals. So here is the nuance for scaling. And this is the reason why I started the multifamily conference, obviously closed it, but where we are going at Master Passive Income, taking you down this whole entire roadmap to getting you to bigger deals. So in the scaling, we start shifting. And this is how we accelerate. If we shift, now we continue to buy residential 4 units and below, but we want to buy a small multifamily property. We want to buy something like 8 units, maybe 12 units. We want to buy a small property so that we have now economies of scale. That's where we make more wealth. That's where we get more cash flow. It could be as easy as, let's say we find a 6-unit apartment complex, 6 units, and then we find one private money lender. Let's say your Uncle Bob, who actually has a little bit of money that he can invest for the down payment. Well, we buy that property. We show you how to do that. That's in our scaling. That's when we accelerate. We start buying small multifamilies on top of our residential. Then that gets us into large multifamily. That's what you do in cash flow. The game Cash Flow from Robert Kiyosaki. If you play cash flow, you start at small deals, you go to medium deals, and then you get to big deals. We want to get to big deals or large deals, and that is where we get into as an investor for preservation. That's why I'm so excited about the multifamily right now, because you are on this path with me that now hopefully you have a couple properties where we now start scaling you to where you're now a business owner, and then you get into commercial real estate. That is where, I mean, you think about who owns the biggest buildings. It's the banks. The banks, like you look at any big building in any big city, look at the very top, that name at the very top, Chase or Wells Fargo, whatever. They know that when you get into commercial real estate, that's where you make the most money. That's where people keep the most money and make the most money. So we have beginner, the mom and pop, 0 to 5 properties. Then we have the scaler, the business owner. That's where they have 5 or more properties. And then we start accelerating and we get into small multifamilies. Then we get into preservation, the investor, risk reduction. We get into other asset classes. We buy large deals, tax reduction. You get so much more tax reductions. There's so many ways to do it. And then you pass all this down to your children in generational wealth. Now, this entire process, we coach at Master Passive Income. We have the membership, the Wealth Builders membership. It's now going to be branded the Fast Track, the Real Estate Investor Roadmap Fast Track. And we also have the one-on-one coaching, which is the Done With You program. We're showing you every single step. I want to help you. Go to masterpassiveincome.com. Get my free course. First, masterpassiveincome.com/free course, or text the word rental to 33777. Or if you just want it, you already know you need to get started. We're taking you down this path. You need to be ahead of the wave when that huge wave of amazing investing coming. And I kid you not, in a couple of years from now, you're going to look back and say, I wish I listened to Dustin. Or you're going to say, I'm so glad I listened to Dustin. Look at where I'm at now. So this is the investor roadmap that you are going to be walking down, that I'm going to be helping you here at Master Passive Income. I've literally built out so like all this for you. I was even putting money obviously towards the conference, which is now gone, sadly losing, I don't know, $50,000 to $80,000. Lord willing, I'm praying that we're able to maybe bump it to 2026 and use that money and then book the hotel for RubeCon 2026. So if you could be praying, or if you do pray, I would love it if you prayed for me that God blesses me to be able to, it's all up to the hotel. If they're willing to not just take the money, if they're saying, hey, you know what, we can create a longer future with them, with RubeCon, then we could do in 2026. So I'd appreciate prayers with that. But this is the roadmap. This is why I'm so excited about commercial real estate, because this is the journey that I'm on. I'm steps ahead of you. I'm like at the top of the mountain. I literally just got 355 unit apartment complex. I've summited Mount Everest. I'm looking down and saying, hey, here are the landmines. This is how you get past this. This is how you get past the scaling. This is how you accelerate. This is how you get to where I am. This is how you get rid of taxes, all that good stuff. And I want you to be here with me on the summit at the top of the mountain with me. And if there's anything you take out of this roadmap, it's that you can do this no matter where you are. Let's say you have 10 properties, you need to scale and stabilize, get financial freedom, then grow into the preservation stage. I'm going to show you how to do that. Stick with me. Get my free course, masterpassiveincome.com/free course. If you want to come summit Mount Kilimanjaro with me, you can absolutely do that too. Check the link in the description, and I'll see you next week. And that is it for today. Go ahead and get my free real estate investing course. Text the word rental to 33777. RENTAL to 33777. You can also join my Real Estate Wealth Builders group coaching. Get all my courses. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next show. See ya.